Hi there folks, I'm Capt Monte with Texas Fishing Tips, and this is your weekly fishing report. This week it seems like the fish has showed up more so than ever all around the Fina docks here by these pilings and these rock piles through here. We've been catching slot reds, we've been catching a lot of sheephead through here. If you come out in front, we've been catching black drum, speckled trout, redfish, all slot reds, a few oversized reds, but more slot reds, and everything's been on live shrimp. I'm still using about a 1/16 ounce weight right on top of the hook and throwing them right up on these rocks and letting it drift back, and there's been good numbers of fish all the way down to the ferries. So if you just work these rock piles up on the edges here, you're going to find a lot of good fish. There's been, like I said, a lot of good trout coming in, so especially with that cold that we had. If you come back on the other side, up by these houses on these docks, there's been sheephead through here. There's been black drum. There's been slot reds. Like I said before, you can't tie up to the piers, but if you've got a trolling motor, you can spot lock it or use an anchor. But there's been good fish all the way down Charlie's pasture, just working this edge. Work it slow. If the bite is a little slow, don't give up. Just kind of bump down, 20, 30 yards, and it seems like the bite does pick up a little bit better. When I get done there, then I come right back over, depending how the jetties are, and I start working these rocks on the other side over here by Chandler's, and just bump on down. Same deal, been catching trout, redfish, black drum, occasional flounder. When the jetties are right and the waves are good, we've been coming out here to the end of the jetties and working the rocks right out here. Been a lot of trout, a lot of good slot reds mixed in with black drum. Both sides of the jetties on the tips have been producing fish. If you get back on the back side of the jetties and work these rocks, a lot of sheephead through there mixed in with speckled trout. So I've really just been staying right here by Port Aransas in this deeper water, especially after this cold blast that we had. Seems like them fish are in this deeper water. We've also been working this shipwreck out here in front of the lighthouse. There have been good numbers of sheephead through here, mixed in with a few good reds. So all of this area around Port Aransas right now is holding good fish. Those of you that want to jump up into these back sloughs up by the lighthouse or big slough, all these little sloughs are holding fish. That tide has been out, but I'm sure it's going to come back in with this southeast wind. So just kind of judge where your water depth is. And if it's out like it has been, well then concentrate on working the deeper parts of the water. If the tide is up, then get up there a little bit skinnier. Start working these edges, and you're going to find them fish. I mean, it might take you a little bit to hone in on them, but if you just stay with it, you're going to find the fish. Also, coming back through the old terminal up here by California Hole, there have been good numbers of trout all around California Hole, and also over here in Buns Hole. So all these little areas, these deeper pockets, have been holding good fish. If you want to get on a good drift, man, Estes and Redfish Bay, all this area over here, wintertime, soft plastics with popping corks is my favorite. The harder you pop that cork, especially on them windier days, the more that you're going to get a reaction. So all this area on long, good drifts have been paying off. Those of you that like to fish out of Aransas Pass, this ICW past the RV park here, once you start seeing these rock jetties coming off the edges right here, they've been a good spot to ambush sheephead right now. I've been catching mixed redfish, and I've just been bouncing down, just working all of these rock piles. We've been catching good numbers of trout through here mixed in with slot reds, occasional black drum. I've even caught one or two groupers working these rock piles. So all these rocks working all the way from Aransas all the way down here to the point of Ingleside have been holding fish, especially when that tide has been super low like it has been. Once I get done there, then I'll come back on the backside of Dagger and work up in the front here and start working these sloughs that come into this back flat. All these areas and these broken islands all through here have been holding good fish, redfish mainly, on the outside using cut mullet or your cut menhaden. Once I get done there and I don't really get my limits, then I'm coming back on the inside and I'll do the same thing and just work it on back down on the edges and on the edges of the ICW on these spoil banks. Being good number of redfish mixed in with a few black drum through here. So all of this area around Dagger and the ICW right now have been holding good fish. If you're coming out of Corpus or Ingleside, working all the way down here from the Lexington and out here towards the L-head, there have been good numbers of speckled trout through here. There have been slot reds. There have been black drum. There have been a few sheephead out here on these rocks. So I haven't caught the mangrove snapper since that cold snap. Not to say they're not around, but I don't know where they disappeared to. But another good place when the bay is calm enough, I've been running out here to these wells. Some of my favorite places to fish. Live shrimp, just free lining out here. Getting on these rock piles that extend off of these platforms. There have been sheephead out here, some bigger sheephead. There have been black drum. There have been plenty of speckled trout out here. So that's one of the things I really like to do in the wintertime is work these platforms, especially on those nice, cool mornings when the bay is calm. If you get back over here on these piers in Portland, there have been black drum over here. There have been speckled trout. And I just bounced from each one of these little piers and broken down piers and made a good number of fish out here on Portland shoreline. So pick your days, especially out here in Corpus Bay. It's been cool mornings, but there's still a lot of fish to be caught all around them edges right now. If you want to come into Ingleside and work these refineries through here, these rocks, they've been producing good black drum, mixed in with slot reds and good trout through here. I've been catching everything on live shrimp with a little weight or just free lining. Just each day is different. So if you're not catching them one way, you might want to try to change up your setup, how you're fishing, and everything right now is eating live shrimp. Thanks for watching. I'm Captain Monte Graham.